My name's Avery Dennedy.
So, what art classes do you take at Loveland?
So, starting my freshman year, I took drawing and painting 1, drawing and painting 2, drawing and painting 3, and now, senior year, I'm taking AP Art and Design, the 2D version. I find it easier just to like paint and draw than actually doing like structural stuff.
Any favorite pieces?
Probably the my skeleton painting. It was oil painting. I love that one so much. It was a lot of fun to do, and I'm pretty sure it's called the start or like the beginning or something.
Is there anything that any major theme that inspires your paintings or artwork?
Yeah, so especially because of AP Art and Design, I had to come up with like a portfolio, like an artist statement that had a common theme throughout the whole piece. And I was kind of basing off my portfolio, my experience through my PTSD and my depression, and that has like really fueled like a lot of inspiration and emotional pieces that I've made.
Seeing as you take a lot of AP classes, how do you handle creative blocks when you need to paint something?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of it has come to me, and I have had a lot of struggle with expressing my emotions. So I know that I like read a lot of my journals that I've made, especially in the past when I was going through those really hard times. And those emotions like really just kind of fueled everything that I needed in order to make paintings and stuff.
What type of mediums do you like working with the most?
My favorite mediums to work with is mainly oil paint. I do enjoy some oil pastel or chalk pastel, but I would say that oil paint is my favorite.
Do you have any favorite oil paint pieces that you like? Maybe not by you, or maybe some other artists that you really love.
I'm honestly like really inspired by Claude Monet. I love his techniques that he uses, and my favorite is the lily pads. So I really love how everything looks so simplistic, but like all blended, and nothing is ever like all like melted into each other. It's like individual pieces of the paint. You can see the brush strokes, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it to death.
You seem passionate about this. Have you always been creative?
Yeah. My grandmother, she also was a painter, an oil painter, and she really fueled a lot of my artwork. And she always has like maybe 10 or so of my drawings ever since I was a kid, hung up around the house. I recently gave her a painting, and she loves it so much.
Would you maybe do you think you have a favorite time that maybe you're most creative, or like you love creating?
Yeah, I mainly feel a lot more comfortable just making artwork in my room. My room has always been like a safe place for me, and I've kind of transformed it into just somewhere where I just feel comfortable to be myself and express myself however I need to.
Thank you. Is there anything that you'd like to tell aspiring creatives, or maybe people who just want to create but don't know how to?
Just stick with it. I know it can be kind of hard, especially finding the motivation to kind of complete your artwork, but if it's not to like be for completion, it's not to be. And artwork is kind of like finding yourself. So if you have a hard time just trying to express yourself and your emotions, and like maybe it's like you need to do an inner reflection on how you perceive yourself. And I know that it can be very very tiring and very frustrating to try and just kind of figure out who you are and who you were trying to be, but artwork can help you think through your processes and help you think through who you want to be.
Shannon Evans.
Okay, what art classes do you take?
Right now I'm in drawing and painting 2 and I'm in ceramics 1. And then I take study hall so that I can go back into those classes and do more stuff. And then next year I'm going to take drawing and painting 3, ceramics 2, and sculpture.
Wow, you really like painting. Have you always been a creative?
Yeah, since I was like 6 or 7, I still have my old sketchbooks, but they're not very good. They're kind of cringy, but they're, what started my love for art.
Do you have any favorites?
I do have one painting that I did freshman year. It's a fairy, and it's a really nice painting. We used this sculpt stuff, and it was like, I forget the name of it, but we just made 3D paintings, and it was really cool.
Okay. Do you have any favorite mediums you like to work with?
Acrylic paint is definitely my favorite. That and sculpting with clay, but red clay, not white clay. Red clay is definitely more fun to work with.
Do you have any like major theme behind your paintings or your sculptures?
I always liked surrealism, and I like to take inspiration from like dreams and like the abstract, like surreal type of look, because I think it's just cool to have that like other world type of look.
Is there a reason maybe like you think you like that?
I think I just have always been like a daydreamer. Like I was always daydreaming as a kid. I would always draw that stuff.
That's great. Are there any artists that inspire you?
I really like Van Gogh's art style. I think he's got a really good abstract art style. And I forget his name, but Picasso is definitely a good one. But no, there was an artist, and he's known for his famous paintings with cats because he had schizophrenia, and you could see as his condition got worse, his paintings got more and more abstract until you couldn't tell what they were. But I really like his art style because I take a lot of inspiration from that.
That's cute. So what would you say right now, as you have grown as an artist, how would you say you have evolved?
I've definitely gotten a lot better with capturing expression and proportions and people. I used to be really, really bad at drawing people, but I've put a lot of practice into that over freshman year and sophomore year. And then I think also bringing like creative ideas into my work.
I know that you have been drawing since like you were 6. Have you ever really wanted to draw but you just couldn't because of the creative block, and how did you handle that?
I used to get depressed a lot, and I wouldn't be able to like draw. So what I would do is just like sketch everything in the room. I would sketch my hamster cage and my dogs and my bed, and eventually I would just, kind of go from there and just start drawing random stuff until I had an idea.
Do you have any advice for people who are currently in that situation?
You just gotta keep pushing yourself to keep going. Even when you have nothing to draw, just start drawing random lines and shapes. Eventually you'll see something on the paper, and I don't know, it's a really nice release too when I feel sad. So
do you have a favorite place to be creative?
By the river. I go down to Nisbet a lot in the summer, and I draw down there. It's really fun because the sunlight just, I don't know, makes it way more fun to draw in my opinion.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Quinn Clancy.
And since when did you start taking art classes at Loveland?
I actually started this year. So I took, last semester I took graphic arts, and then this semester I am taking 2D graphics.
Have you always been an artist, or did you just get into that?
Always. I've always been I've loved drawing ever since I was a kid, so.
Okay, would you have a favorite artist?
Vincent Van Gogh.
Well, what do you like about him?
I really like all of the patches of colors that he uses, you know, and like the Starry Night. I really liked the swirls and like all. I just like that kind of feel.
Where would you love to create art? Where do you get passionate about? Where do you feel inspired?
Really, my own head and my own stories. So I always like drawing with like stories in my head, like characters and things like that. Or just sometimes I'll look at something I'm like, oh wow, that'd be kind of cool to draw. Like, so.
Do you have a preferred art style?
My main mediums are pencils, things like that, like graphite, something simple. I really enjoy like cartoony styles, like characters, things like that again.
Okay.
So
So what would you say to artists? They like, do you lean into more nature stuff? Do you lean into more mythological stuff? Do you lean more into darker stuff? What would you say?
honestly, it depends on my mood or what I'm drawing about. So usually, like I said, stories. With the story, if it's darker, I will tend to do like darker things, like darker themes, things like that. It really just depends.
What do you do when you have an art block?
Usually I would just look at other art around the room. So, like, and my teacher, she does a really good job at like explaining things too. And so whenever we have to put something on the page, I just go for it, go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. But it's on the paper, it'll eventually look good.
Okay.
So that's,
Trust the process.
yeah, trust the process. I'll make it look good eventually. That's usually how I work.
And what would you say to other artists who are experiencing this block but don't know how to deal with it?
Just go for it. Literally, if it helps, usually I feel like it does, just start putting things on a page. It'll go somewhere. Just take your mind, put it on the page.
Are there any other ways you express yourselves other than art?
Of course, through like music, things like that. Music's like one of the basic ones. Yeah, just that's it.